just to negate the size that you'll see out of Morgan State.
Boyd averaged nearly a double-double last year, 5.7 rebounds or so this season. And a Howard team down to its 5th and 6th string point guards due to injury. Spin move and score for the starting point guard for the Bears. That's Martez Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron not known as a big scorer, but he's got great ball handling ability. Saw the gap there, spun, scored.
7-0 run, and Williams cannot end that. Rebound down to David Syfax. Bears love to push with Kenley in particular, but an offensive foul before the shot went up.
Morgan State foul charge.
7 in a row for Morgan State. The Bears in front here in the district.
Timeout on the floor. In honor of love and basketball.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by eBay. Find new, unique, and everything in between on eBay. And in part by Dove Men Plus Care. Care makes a man stronger. And the new Volkswagen Golf All-Track, soon to be everywhere.
You're watching Big Monday, presented by eBay. We're on ESPNU, Morgan State, and a Howard, a Beltway battle with the Bears from Baltimore, up 3 in D.C. Kevin Brown, Stan Luter, good to be with you on this Monday night. Some strong defensive efforts both coaches can be happy with early.
Early in the basketball game, Howard's able to score, and they're 3 of 11 shooting. Morgan State pushing the pace, doing a much better job defending, only giving Williams the one shot. This game's going to be about attrition, picking up fouls on one side of the ball, being able to pound it inside and not pick up fouls on the other. Let's see what happens. He's finally 11-41.
Kevin Nickelberry, 7th season for Howard. His parents both Howard alums, and Todd Bozeman, the all-time winningest coach in Morgan State history. Led the Bears to the tournament in 2009 and 2010, the former Cal head man.
Past the legendary Nat Frazier of the championship fame, Coach Marvin Webster many years ago. And he told me the other day, he's so very proud of that accomplishment. So many people helped him get there, and he's just proud to give back to Morgan State. That of Todd Bozeman. Cameron,
a back pass, and Gillespie is feeling it early. 2 threes for the sophomore Antonio Gillespie.
Caught it in rhythm out the transition, knocked down the jump shot. With full court pressure now by the Bears.
Terrific feed as well from Cameron on the bouncer. 3rd in the MEAC in assists. It's Miller again, sneaking inside and scoring 2.
Yeah, we talk a lot about James Miller being a really good perimeter shooter, but he's very strong at 6'4", can get in between the defenders. Did a nice job that time, catching, turning, squaring, and scoring.
5 points to lead Howard. 3 rims out this time for Gillespie, and the rebound to Charles Williams. You're just joining us, a Howard team that is without its first 4 point guards on the starting depth charts. Damon Collins, who's played the position this year, is converted small forward. Miller will go to work, a lot of one-on-one play, and Miller draws a foul. Tomorrow, join us for Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink. Start of the SEC. Number 13, Kentucky, part of a 3-way tie for first against bubble team Tennessee. And then Michigan State, one of the last 4 byes in Joe Lunardi's recent bracket. They get Ohio State at 9. Those games are both streaming live on the ESPN app and on WatchESPN.com. Williams, a contested 3, and he will hoist from just about anywhere, this young man, and with good reason.
Yeah, you can't get mad at that defensively. He's got a hand in his face. You're fading away, but that's the ability of Charles Williams to knock down that 3.
5 points for Williams, shooting 48% from the field, 36 from 3 in conference play. Cameron on the drive, rejected by Boyd, and Mangum comes away with a basketball.
Not what you want to see if you're Morgan State, that drive and play by Cameron.
Meanwhile, Miller will head to the line. Tajay Byers, the 6'10 freshman, came over to help.
Morgan State foul charge to number 5, Taiwan Kenley.
The foul is charged to Taiwan Kenley. That's the second foul for the 22-point per game scorers. Been held off the board so far. Kenley and David Syfax both with 2 for Morgan State. And Syfax will exit Todd Bozeman. Miller missed 7 games earlier this year with a broken hand. 63% foul shooter who ties the game with 1 of 2.
It's funny, both teams are scoring, trying to play three-quarter court or half-court pressure backing into zones, trying to pick up the tempo, but when they've had tempo opportunities, they've not scored out of it.
Howard just 2 fast break points on Saturday, and the game against Hampton did most of its work in a half-court set. It's been the case tonight. Deep 3, no for Kenley, and the tip there for Byers at 6'10", with a phenomenal wingspan to boot.
That's why they don't mind their perimeter guys taking the long-range shots. They feel like with Carr and Byers and Sykes, they've got big, long guys that can go up to the glass and finish plays. Good play by Byers.
Part of a young Morgan State core. Only 1 senior, that's Kyle Thomas, on the roster, and a whole lot of young length.
Oh, they're lucky that time. Could have been an illegal screen.
Could have been against Boyd. Kenley slow to get up, and a travel against Miller bails out Morgan State.
In transition here, a little weave game. There's a jump shot, 2 guys contested, but no one box out the weak side. And Byers, the long arm of the ball, gets his hands up, gets it on the glass. You know it's going to go in.
Meanwhile, Taiwan Kenley has to limp off after that hard screen from Boyd, who did come over, slap his hand. Todd Bozeman is arguing, and understandably so, that he wanted a foul there.
I thought Boyd was very lucky that time that they didn't call it an illegal screen. I'm not sure if he had to step.
Inside move here. Thomas establishes position, leaves it long, and a foul underneath against Morgan. Frustrated freshman Byers.
Take a look at this. Now, does he allow him a step? Maybe he did see him out of his peripheral vision. It just looks harder than he did. So I'm going to let it be a play on. But it was a very close call. I've seen them call it an illegal screen.
Something that's been more of a point of emphasis the last couple of years. He was able to step out.
Yeah, he was able to turn, and he could see him just a little bit. I'll err on the side of judgment and say no foul on that play, but they're lucky. I will say that.
Meanwhile, Solomon Mangum to the line. Howard is already in a 1-and-1 scenario, and that works out for Morgan State. The rebound to Carr. Cameron, good feed on the post. Lefty layup for Alex Ennis. JUCO transfer out of New Jersey, his first 2.
Nice push ahead that time.
Boyd nearly had it taken away. Mangum cannot bail him out. Boyd with the offensive rebound, and the putback, no. It's a clear out against Boyd. Physical post play, and Boyd the violator for Howard. That's his 2nd.
But you see how pressure will make him speed up, take a long-range jump shot by Mangum's not scored there, steps back, see him clear with the right arm as he's trying to get to the post. That's another good call by the officials as they're talking to him about it. Catch the ball, power it up strong. You don't have to do the spin move inside. Don't put it to the floor, big guys.
That's that displacement foul, moving the defender out of his set position. So Boyd takes his seat. With over 8 to go here in the first half, Morgan State promptly throws it away.
Morgan State very ragged with opportunities inside. They should be able to expand this lead. They forced a quick shot a moment ago, not able to take advantage of it. Howard just hanging in there right now, not scoring the basketball, but their defense is standing up.
It's a Morgan State defense that is 3rd in the MEAC in scoring, 2nd in the country in 3-point field goal defense, so they are very good on the perimeter. Mangum. Collins trying to solve. There's so much length here. Williams off the flash. That's
I like
a hot
that.
spot.
That flash is exactly right. That middle area is going to be open, and he wastes very little time in catch, turn, and shooting. Charles Williams, a star of the future in the MEAC.
Picked up so much of that scoring load with James Daniel, last year's leading national scorer, out for the year. Foul inside on the other end. Martez Cameron head to the line for 2 when we return. The 2-point Morgan State lead.
Alex Ennis taking the ball down the floor. Catch it, big fella. And when you do, look out both ways. Score inside. No, that's nice.
Imagine if ESPN's basketball wires got crossed. Wait, this is hoops, so they'd get crossed over, right? Wednesday, we'll take a dozen courtside voices, shake them up, and scatter them over 4 games. When the association meets awesome, baby, it's the NBA-NCAA crossover.
Awfully excited for that Wednesday night. Some of our personalities get moved around, and there's a former NBA player in the house tonight. That's Morgan State assistant Larry Stewart, who played for the Washington then Bullets from 91 to 95 after leading Coppin State to an NCAA tournament as a college star.
Yeah, played for Fangs Gang. Brother was a big star in Coppin State also. He's had a successful coaching career at Bowie State right up the road from Morgan. Came down and joined Todd's staff last year. Has done a great job, gives you the inside game expertise and also what guys that think they want to take it to the next level can expect. Larry Stewart's one of those up-and-coming coaches. You know, Todd's got a really nice staff. Brian Ellaby was a former Michigan coach and was at UVA for many years. And then Mr. Stewart doing some good things at Morgan State as they are doing at Hampton. Todd Bozeman. Todd, bad boy. You ever play golf with Todd?
Not yet.
Yeah,
no.
I'm telling you,
just ping pong.
Don't play golf with Todd.
Only table tennis.
Todd will try to take you out there and tell you can't play. But then again, I'm doing the same thing, so it's all good.
Who wins when you and Todd hit the course?
I have a great respect for Todd. And I like to think he has for me. So we let it go. And see, they've had a lot of success with the flash of the post from low to high, and they're getting shots. Williams continues to get that shot, and he's going to knock those down. And if he does, that's going to open up even more so drives as well as cross-pass shots.
He's taken 9 of their 17 field goals, hit 3. Cameron way long. He has been more involved in the offense as a shooter than you might expect. 1 for 5.
Yeah, and that's not his game. He's a penetrator. He gets the ball in the right guy's hands. He's only scored in double figures 2 times this year, but he can pass. He sees the floor, but they're giving him the shot. You know, it's an old joke, say, Coach, I'm wide open. There's a reason you're wide open sometimes, They want you to shoot. He's just got to settle down. You see Todd talking to him there about that.
Another 1-on-1 for Damon Collins this time. 66% free throw shooter. And Collins Cooley with the first. Senior out of Prime Prep in Dallas, Texas. Who again took over point guard this year. First time playing the position. And has really done a nice job into a role he had no prior experience with. They said the nice thing now about Damon Howard coaches, he's no longer thinking as much. He's just reacting at the position. This jumper is short for Ennis. Mangum pulls down the rebound.
Both teams under pressure taking 2 quick jump shots. He's playing right into the defense's hands. Settle down, make the extra pass. You'll get layups out of this, or you'll get wide open shots around the other side.
Williams, hand at his face. It's Thomas at 6'7", great length for Morgan State. Collins on the step, scoops it up and scores.
Yeah, he's really matured as far as playing the point guard position. Not expected to do that, but can put the ball on the floor. Good block and a block.
Another shot for Cameron, who will head to the line.
Watch Damon Collins, just good ball movement, steps between the gap, no one stops him, is able to use his body and get the ball around the side. Stepped in that gap, and he's got the length at 6'6", 6'7" to drive and score. And when Damon Collins is able to do that, that makes the offense a little easier for Howard.
Good first step, too. We see a lot of players travel on that move often. And Collins kept the feet intact as Cameron hits the first. Good to see Kenley back in the game now, number 5 for Morgan State. Took that hard hit on the screen from Boyd. Martez Cameron, 60.5% at the line. And 2 for 2 here. He will leave. Isaiah Graves returns. So 4 points for Carr right now, 4 shots. Kenley has not scored. Yet Morgan State leads by 1. Those two combining to average over 40 points per game on the year. Williams off the roll screen, lost it.
Good defense, but you got to come up and meet that pass. He's trying to make the cut and float with it, catch the basketball on the cut.
Kenley wants his first two, and it won't come here. He is fouled. Taiwan Kenley out of Harlem, and now Lamar, Colorado Community College on his ledger. A couple of years there. JUCO transfer now at Baltimore. Volume shooter Kenley. No misses on the front end of the 1-and-1.
Just watch him the next couple of times down the floor. He's looking a little like he's favoring that knee thigh area a little bit where he took the bump from Boyd earlier.
Miller had to use the left hand. Rebound pinballs to Graves of the Bears.
Good.
Graves with a swing.
Good.
A lot of extra passing here. It's Thomas in the corner. No.
Again, not the guy you want to take that jump shot that quick. Thomas can make the mid-range shot. He can make the three, but it was a great ball, but could have stepped in maybe and better got an easier shot.
Is there a case of being too unselfish on some of those passes?
Yeah, we don't see it a lot, though.
We'll take it. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Three-pointer for Mangum.
Good shot, Mangum, who needs to make some three-point baskets. Been 6 out of 24 in his last 5. There's sometimes when you're afraid to take the shot, so you shoot yourself out of it. I think that was a case where you got to get your feet set, knock it down. But good shot by Mangum on the other end.
Solving what was the nation's second best three-point defense coming into the game. Pickpocket for Graves, up and in. Bit of an awkward slam, but it counts all the same.
10-foot rim, 9-foot, 11-inch jump that time.
And David Collins and Howard want a timeout. Isaiah Graves with a steal and score for Morgan State. The Bears and Bison back and forth. The old Beltway rivals, and a good one here on Monday.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Samuel Adams, Pursue Better, and Velveeta Mini Blocks. With perfectly portioned 4-ounce Velveeta Mini Blocks, you've got
Back to Byrd Gymnasium in Washington, D.C. Home of monuments galore, and we are here on the Hilltop. We're following Howard all year long on the Undefeated.com video and text series, exploring the difference in pursuing athletics at a historically black university and a tremendous academic university as well. A lot to balance for these young men who are seeking their first tournament appearance in 2.5 decades. Follow that weekly on the Undefeated.com. It's a terrific website with a great focus on these historically black colleges and universities, and this Howard series in particular with some terrific behind-the-scenes footage.
Had a chance to talk to Mr. Bembry last week and was talking about the Undefeated and the feedback getting not only in the African-American community and people that are covering HBCUs, but throughout the country, and the knowledge that's being dropped and continue to learn, especially now during Black History Month, continue to support the Undefeated. It's a very, very good idea.
Mangum just hit a three. Not this time, and Stone and Williams both fought for the rebound, but Tyler Stone goes over the back.
Howard, 8 of 21 from the field. This is a team that struggled all season shooting the basketball, but they've got to take advantage of the shot selection. They've only shot over 45% 3 times this year. You're not going to beat a lot of teams. I know that Daniels is out. We've talked about it. They've had a lot of injuries, but the guys that are in the ball game have got to step up and knock down those open looks. They're getting some good looks tonight. Can they make those shots? If they can make those shots, they got a chance to win this game. If they can shoot over 45%, I think they're in this game. They're in this game. Let's keep up with that.
40% now. I beg your pardon, by the way. That's Williams with a foul, and that is his second. So Williams and Boyd are both on the bench, and quite possibly for the remainder of this first half.
And you've got your leading rebounder and your leading scorer now on the bench, the final 4-12. So if you're Morgan State, you want to take full advantage of that If you're Howard, you just want to hold everything in between the field.
2 free throws for Thomas,
Nice
their
pass.
only senior. Stone from Collins. Great wraparound.
For a guy that doesn't play the point guard until early in October, Damon Collins certainly shown a lot of poise with his passes lately.
Sure didn't look like it there. That's 3 assists for Collins tonight. Graves on the slash. Left-handed release, and Isaiah Graves is fouled.
Howard foul charge. number
Morgan
32,
State, the
foul,
last couple
double
possessions,
mistake.
although they've not scored out of him, done a really nice job of moving the ball from side to side and then trying to attack the gap on the weak side. Graves recognized where the gap area was and quickly took it to the hole where he goes to the free throw line. Morgan's not shot a lot of free throws today. Now, with 3:38 to go and you're still in this kind of rocky road ball game, let's see if Todd elects to put some more pressure on Howard, get the ball out of Collins' hand, make some other guys try to beat you.
2 for 2 for Graves.
Full court pressure here, a little token pressure, but still pressure nonetheless.
Stone will dribble.
You remember the problem they had last week when we had them against South Carolina State? They get the ball right over half court and pick it up against South Carolina State, forcing a lot of turnovers and bad shots.
Collins, an open look, fouled and scores.
Collins.
Damon Collins along 2 to return Howard to the lead should he hit the free throw.
You see Collins there recognizing the area where he can take the shot. Toes on the line, but a really nice looking jump shot. Damon Collins showing the versatility. When he was recruited, he was supposedly going to be a big scorer. Didn't score as much as they thought, but has had some good ball games, had 8 double-figure games this year, and can make plays. But because he's had to play the point so much this year, his scoring's been down, only averaging 9 a game. Good basket there for the Bison.
Terrific first half, 7 points, 3 assists for Collins. And again, no Williams, no Boyd for Howard at the moment. Gillespie almost had a third 3, rebound to Stone. Collins, Miller was not ready for it, kept it in bounds, threw it right to Martez Cameron, and he's fouled by Collins.
That's one of those. What an unforced foul looks like? That was one. Why are you going to foul this guy driving the basketball some 60 feet away from the basket? Not the type of foul you need with the depth situation, the injury situation Howard's facing. Collins needs to be on the court.
It's only Collins first. 4 Howard players with 2, Williams, Miller, Boyd, and Stone. And 2 free throws for Cameron, who's at the line for the 3rd time. Howard didn't realize it, but that was the 10th team foul. That's to Kevin Nickelberry's chagrin.
Talk to Kevin. He says, hey, it's been a rough year, but that's what happens in basketball. So we've got to continue to fight and understand how to play with fatigue and don't play with crazy fouls. And we're still in ball games. Tonight could be that night they get off that 6-game losing streak.
Ando on the bouncer to Stone, and he was fouled. 2 shots coming up for Tyler Stone. Oh, it's a Howard team that is 2-8, but they've led by 10 points or more in a good deal of these MEAC games. And in fact, they've led in the second half in just about every one of them.
Yeah, they sure have. They've been in the game. They've played smart ball. 7 games they played 10 points or less, but they're only 2-5 in those 7 ball games. Got to find a way to finish, to close a game.
Double Sports Center at night tonight, where Steve Levy is live from Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, as Gino Auriemma and the Huskies go for their 100th win in a row against South Carolina. John Anderson, Lisa Kearney back in Bristol, breaking down that big Texas Tech win over Baylor and a whole lot more tonight on ESPN. Nice turnaround for Phil Carr, who has a quiet 6 for Morgan State to retie the game.
It really was. Got inside the burr, turns, faced up, very comfortable, elevates, got the nice roll.
Miller pull up.
James Miller.
JT Miller terrific offensively for Howard. 15-plus point per game scorer. Carr to the rack and a rebound for Tyler Stone. Lost his dribble and finds the outlet Mangum. Much better shooting night for Howard so far than most in conference play. And Collins will return to the line.
Good job there by Kevin Nickelberry to let Miller initiate the offense from top and bring Collins down low. Let him use that length at 6'7" against a matchup against Morgan State. Recognized he was running the baseline, found him. He goes to the free throw line.
2 fouls against Kyle Thomas, and Collins is back at the stripe. Collins, who played with Emmanuel Mudiay back in high school at Prime Prep in Dallas, Texas. Preseason third-team All-MEAC player, and what he's done for this team is hard to quantify in the stat sheet. Taking over a brand new position in his senior year. 4 for 5 at the foul line tonight.
Nice pressure that time. And make it a little hard for Morgan State to get into their half-court set.
Carr, space inside, fights for his own miss. And Philip Carr is fouled. Both teams well over the limit.
You can tell that Carr is just a little tentative. Once it goes up the jump, just no balance on that jump shot. Usually that's money in the bank. Fortunately, the ball comes back to him, is able to get a second chance opportunity. But you can just feel he's still not in a rhythm after missing several ball games with the stress fracture.
5 games out for Carr. This is his 3rd back. He's 7 points now tonight as he cans the first free throw.
But he can really score the basketball. I mean, he's been a hard matchup the last season and a half. And last year they had some guys that could do some things inside, so he could step out a little bit more. This year had to play more of a 3-4 role.
82% foul shooter, 4th in the MEAC, and 2 for 2 there.
Full pressure again. Good job that time by Stone to advance the basketball and then pass back. Yeah, I don't like to see those guys pick the ball up at half court.
Miller off the foot of Mangum, pushed away by Cameron with 9 to shoot. JT Miller stripped from behind, and it will stay with Howard with 6 to shoot. Charles Williams now with the 2 fouls is going to check back in for some offense for Howard, which has actually gone from behind to ahead with Williams on the bench.
Williams has got to be smart. 6 seconds on the clock. They're talking about it. Don't want to pick up the cheap foul.
Collins tried to find him, threw it away. Here's Gillespie for the Bears.
Finish it.
And the slam for Syfax.
David Syfax, the 6'7" freshman, and they talk about his elevation, can finish plays at the rim. You love to see the guy take it to the basket, not change the shot. Syfax with the flush.
Morgan State coaches tell you he'll try to dunk on every play if he can. And that was a terrific finish for the lanky first year out of Detroit. Meanwhile, Howard with 10 to shoot hasn't gotten to the thick of the offense here. Collins overhand, and Miller gets free. He missed the dunk.
Kevin, he bobbled that ball on his way up. If he can hold it with 2 hands and finish strong, he's got the play.
Collins with a hand in and a foul along the sideline. Antonio Gillespie for Morgan State tangled up with Collins. Yeah, Collins, beg your pardon, Gillespie grabbed his left arm. And they got him for it, the officials. 2 shots for Collins.
Good job by the officials to see that. Both teams a little careless, a little chippy right now. This is a big rival game. You know, school's 150 years old. They've been battling for supremacy for many years. Howard and Morgan State, when you think about college basketball on the East Coast. So, want to win this game.
I first started playing football back in 1899. That was a 71-0 Howard win.
Yeah, they'll let you know that too.
That's right.
They'll remind you.
Bison, who dominated the series early, Morgan State really turns it around in the coming years, and Morgan State has the edge 62-42 in hoops. 105th game between the two on the hardwood.
think about some of the great legends that played at Morgan State, Leroy Kelly, and you think about Nat Frazier. We talked about what he did, and Marvin, the human racer. A lot of great history at both campuses, at both gymnasiums. Talmadge Hill, the legendary coach. So anytime you get a chance to be a part of this rivalry, this is one of those games. You talk about the undefeated. This is one of those the history of college basketball, history of the MEAC. You talk about Morgan State and Howard. Both of these teams long been traditional factors in football, track and field, baseball, tennis, women's basketball. You see, women's game was close today.
Oh my gosh.
Women's game was tight.
There were fouls on both teams in the last 2.5 seconds of the women's game. Morgan won it with 2 free throws with 0.4 of a second to go.
Think about there again, look at Kevin Nickelberry. It's been about 25 years since they've won a championship here. Think about the legendary coach A.B. Williamson was here. Butch Beard coached at both schools. Had a lot of success at Howard, but the last few years not able to get that. Nick is trying to get this thing turned around, and they thought that this year was going to be the year, and it still could be. But with a lot of injuries and losing the leading scorer in the country, it's been a tough uphill climb for the Bison.
Morgan will wind down the clock of a chippy first half. 24 combined fouls in the game. This is Thomas back out for Cameron. 3 to shoot. It's Gillespie, rejected, and a foul. .25.
Howard foul charge to number 15,
David Collins has picked up his second.
All right, let's take a look here. Shot there.
Bumped him in the shoulder on the way down if you're looking for some contact from Collins.
Okay. Okay. You have to protect the jump shooter. You must protect the jump shooter. I get that. They're going to take a look and see if this is a 3 or 2. Clearly behind the line. You got the basketball, we know. Let's say 3, I think.
3 shots.
Yeah.
The way these two schools operate, 105th time, the distance between, you're not surprised there's this much physical play, are you?
Yeah. I don't mind a little bumping around. I'm okay with it, but then what you want to be is consistent. So you get the touch foul, but you've got to protect the three-point shooter. I understand that. Tough call either way.
So 3 for Gillespie, 76% at the line. Recently returned to the bench with Taiwan Kenley's return from injury, and they're hoping Gillespie could get into the flow of the game off the bench. He was 0 for 7 from the field on Saturday. Did not score against Delaware State, but he has had a terrific first half with a couple of threes and now a couple of free throws for 8 points.
Plenty of time for Howard. Get down, get your basket, take some momentum into halftime. May have the lead or it could be tied.
Just brought Chuck Smith in, number 24 on the point guard. 3 for 3 for Gillespie, a team high 9 off the bench.
If you're Morgan State, you want to put pressure on the basketball, but you don't want to foul. If it's going to be a long shot to heave, you don't want to foul the three-point shooter. That's good pressure there.
Smith, his first touch of the game. Chuck Smith puts it up. Too strong. 36-34, Morgan State in front. Whole lot of foul shooting, and Morgan State from Baltimore has the lead in a physical first half here at a Beltway battle in the MEAC.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Samuel Adams, Pursue Better, and Velveeta Mini Blocks. With perfectly portioned 4-ounce Velveeta Mini Blocks, you've got endless, melty gold.
You are watching Big Monday, presented by eBay. 36-34. Morgan State, Bears from Baltimore, leading the Howard Bison Here in Washington, D.C., Kevin Brown, Stan Luter. It's been a fun first half. 9 ties, 9 lead changes, and it's the Bears up a bucket after 20.
Both teams have had opportunities to extend the lead, get leads, and haven't taken advantage of it primarily because of poor shooting. One team's going to extend their lead. If they can, they can. We're looking at the bench points right there. Morgan's done a really nice job there, 19 points. The second chance opportunities, excellent. The rebounding, they're about even. One thing you're going to have to do if you're the Bison of Howard is find ways to get your guy open. That would be Williams. Keep your eye on number 13. He starts with a down screen. Gets a screen here. Roll it, guys. There he sets the baseline screen. He's ready to catch, turn, and shoot. Marcel Boyd at 6'10". Sets the screen. He comes really close, shoulder to shoulder. Catches, turns, is ready to score. Let's look for more screen action to get him going in the second half. But a good way to get him going after an inbound situation.
Sid Williams, who has 9 20-point games this season at 7. Damon Collins leads Howard with 10. And Antonio Gillespie, 9 points for Morgan State, which has 8 points from Philip Carr, its second leading scorer, and 6 rebounds. Leading scorer for the Bears, Tywan Kenley, has not scored. He is 0 for 5 and was banged up for a few minutes in that first half, but Kenley will inbound now. Foul just picked up was the third, by the way, on Damon Collins.
Yeah, and Dan, you got to keep Collins on the floor if you can. Now what you got to do is make the offensive adjustments. Let's look to see if Todd Bozeman tries to get Kenley going early.
Carr with a tough shot over Boyd, playing with 2 fouls. Offensive rebound put back by Alex Ennis.
They've had a lot of success just crashing the glass, and that's one of the things that you expect to do if you're a good player for Morgan State.
Best offensive rebounding team in the MEAC, and they have 7 tonight. Off the Williams miss. Carr feeds the post, and it's the tip out Cameron.
Good drive here. Where are you going?
Going the other way. That's a turnover against Kenley. He has not found a rhythm so far. Well, that's something we should frame. Todd Bozeman sitting down.
Oh, he's going to sit. Todd's going to give you a lot of things. He's going to sit. He's going to stand up. He's going to walk away. He's going to yell. But he's always in the basketball game. The winningest coach in Morgan State history. Good block.
Boyd with some pressure from behind. And here's a tip pass. Williams saves it behind his back right to Gillespie.
Settle down. Settle down. Settle down.
Inside, the slam from Byers rattles its way home. The freshman Tajay Byers had a Bethesda with his second basket.
I like Byers' athleticism. Getting the start tonight, showing his length, ability. He really blocks a lot of shots and can run the floor. Nice finish inside.
Ties the largest lead for Morgan State. 14-8 early, 40-34 here. Boyd an offensive rebound off the Miller miss. He is fouled.
I think they're going to get Byers over the top.
Morgan State foul
Good inside position that time by Boyd.
That's Byers' third. 6'10", only 210. Still a lot of growing into that frame he can do, but they love his athleticism.
Oh, they got a lot of youth on this basketball team. Really excited about next year. You'll have Kendall and Carr both back.
Boyd on the feed from Collins, stuffed. Second chance taken away by Cameron, tiptoeing the baseline. Gillespie. Long 2 is good for the largest Morgan State lead. And a quick timeout, Howard.
Great job of hesitation in transition. Get everybody where you need them on the wing. Defenders stay late coming up to take the jump shot. Bam, knocks it in.
What up, Justin? Hurry up.
9-0 run carried over from the end of the first half for Morgan State. Game high lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters. And Degree Deodorant. It won't let you down.
Super Tuesday tomorrow night, presented by CenturyLink. SEC Big Ten doubleheader with Tennessee fighting for its tournament life against number 13 Kentucky at 7. Then Ohio State and Michigan State, the Spartans, in an unfamiliar spot, squarely on the bubble. That's at 9 Eastern. Both games on ESPN, also on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. Our score 42-34 Morgan State, our second chance point score 16-0 in that department in favor of the Bears.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job of crashing the glass. 7 offensive rebounds equate to 16 points. Long, leap, attack the glass, be hungry for the basketball, grab it with 2 hands, be quick to score the basketball. That's what the Bears of Morgan State have done. And when you can dominate the glass, it gives you a great advantage, not only as far as the points go, but getting big guys on the other team to pick up cheap fouls. They've done that as well.
Average nearly 14 offensive rebounds per game, and they grab over a third of their missed shots. Both are tops in the conference.
See a little more man-to-man now out of Morgan State. Try to put more pressure on Howard, force some turnovers, force some quick shots.
Miller is hacked by Gillespie. That's an easy call, and 2 shots coming.
Good recognition of that. Running Miller at 6'4", inside off a high screen action to get that mismatch against Gillespie. Go inside and see if he can go to the line. When you're having a hard time scoring the basketball as Howard has had lately, it's always good to try to get your scores. Well, that goes that theory. It's always good to get your scores to the free throw line. Let them see the ball go in the basket a couple of times, maybe establish some rhythm. They missed the first. Can they make the second one?
Howard, a 64% free throw shooting team. 10 of 16 tonight. Miller is 2 for 4. He has 9 points, 1 off Collins' team high 10.
Typical of what we've seen out of Howard all night. After made baskets or made free throws, they've applied some kind of three-quarter court pressure.
Carr bobbled that ball, missed the shot, and the rebound is cleared by Stone, currently in the game for Marcel Boyd. Solomon Mangum steps before the 3. Kevin Nickelberry didn't think so.
Here with Boskin telling me slid his feet. Nice little move there by the official, too, showing a little dance step. Good call.
13 turnovers for Howard, 6 assists. It's been something they've dealt with all year with injuries to 3 point guards. Carr nearly automatic at that spot, but still trying to literally find his footing. Stress fracture, missed quite a bit of time, just his 3rd game back.
Take advantage of it now if you're Howard. You've got him in man so you can space him. Run your half-court offense. Try to get Williams. Got away with a push right there.
Yeah, Kenley tried to sell it too.
See, but they force him away on that hedge high screen.
Miller going to work, 1-on-1. Left it short. Ball stays with Howard with a fresh 30.
We talked a moment ago about the inability to score the basket for Howard. Not shooting over 45% often this season has been part of their struggle. The other part of that struggle, other than that depth situation, has been out-rebounded. They're getting some second chances, but they're not able to convert. Got to score on this possession.
Have not scored a second chance point in the game. Williams guarded high by Thomas, 6'7". And a foul as Miller tries to work around the screen. It was Taiwan Kenley. He picks up his 3rd.
The officials are doing a really good job of calling plays away from the basketball. Can't hold and grab on that weak side screener.
Kenley, the 22.2 point per game scorer, no points, 3 fouls. Stays on the floor. And Kenley finds the steal and is fouled hard by Mangum. That is the 2nd time that Kenley has gone to ground in the game.
Take a look at this. Get in the passing lane. Good play there by Kenley. Contact, got him low. The foul was good. A lot of action after the play. Watch this. Does he make a play for the ball? Yeah. Flagrant 1 at worst. I don't even think it's a flagrant 1, to be honest with you. But the fall was kind of hard, kind of dramatic, you know?
Well, that'll be the question as the officials review over at the monitor. Quay Crawford, Lionel Butler, Haywood Bostic are our officials tonight. Was there excessive contact? Was there a play on the ball?
I think it was. I think it was a play on the ball. He did reach and get the arm first. didn't go up high. Be the judge at home here. Right, there's the foul. I don't see much there.
Remember a couple of weeks ago we were here at the end of the game. Charles Williams picked up a flagrant 2 against South Carolina State's Eric Eves.
Yeah. Taking another look at this.
Headset is on for Lionel Butler over at the scorer's table. For a Howard team that had some major foul trouble in the first half. 4 players with 2, now Collins with 3. Certainly goes for the ball there. Question may be, does he grab onto the shoulder too long? Is that ruled to be an excessive act? And the 3-man crew gets together now at center court.
The longer they look at this, the more I'm thinking you're doing flagrant 1.
We're getting word that it is a flagrant 1. There's the rule. Now the officials have changed this to a common foul.
Yeah.
So no flagrant. Play on the ball ruled to be legal, not excessive contact, just a hard foul. And Kenley will go to the line. Looking for his first points tonight, and there is number 1. Tywan Kenley, who had a 40-point game earlier this year in a double overtime win against Manhattan. Great night for him. He's from Harlem. Not great, though. He stress fractured his right foot in that game. Missed the next 7. But has been an outstanding scorer when he's been on the court.
Had about a 4-minute delay, so it gives Howard a chance to kind of get themselves together. Williams! Wow! It was up by BWI Airport that time. Oh, he was long range.
First made field goal to the half for Howard, which forces a turnover.
Turnout on the floor.
Good sequence triggered by the trigger-happy freshman.
Kevin, it's hard to coach basketball. They go through so much emotion. Todd laid back right there. But you see him yelling, Nick's fighting for everything. So hard. I'm so glad I'm over here. I just can rest. Look at Todd. Slow down, Todd. Slow down. It's okay.
Imagine if ESPN's basketball wires got crossed. Wait, this is hoops, so they'd get crossed over, right? Wednesday, we'll take a dozen courtside voices, shake them up, and scatter them over 4 games. When the association meets awesome, baby, it's the NBA NCAA crossover.
Who knows what will? Dickie V, Bill Walton on Pacers Cavs. A fun day for our NBA college basketball crossover. Look at the AP top 10 right now. Baylor went down the game before us on this network to Texas Tech. Huge win for the Red Raiders trying to claw back into the tournament. Louisville squeezed out an overtime win at Syracuse. Cardinals now 21-5.
You're talking about crossover. You think about the WNBA. Put a plug in. Mystics. They're really excited up here about it. Elena Deladon, I thought of the trade. Had family talking to me about that yesterday. I came up here to talk about Howard, Morgan State. They're talking about Elena Deladon coming to town. So we'll be crossing over and do some ball. Yeah, I am. You know, the family got season tickets to go to Austin Mystics game. So I'm crossing over and going to do some of their games this year.
Okay.
Try to do some of the Mystics. Sis and them say that's the place you need to be. So, hey, crossover NBA, college. Crossover WNBA college. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Whatever you want to do, Stan Luter, you're in.
No. I'm not making any decisions. I'm just
got to get you on some golf.
Trying. Oh, I can do golf. I've done golf. Let me golf.
Phil Carr to the line for Morgan State.
That's the calm Todd Bozeman. He'll be up in a minute.
You know what we got to get you on? We got to get you on that game with Walton and Vitale. Is there enough airspace?
I'd never get no. Love Dick Vitale. He's the best. He's the best.
Absolutely the best.
He is the absolute best. Bill Walton. I remember watching Bill Walton play I'm dating myself. I'm a little kid. 1974 Greensboro Coliseum when they lost to NC State, and I stood at the back door of the Coliseum to try to get his autograph. Serious business.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. They lost that game, and then they played the next day against Kansas, and they had the consolation game at the old Coliseum. Me and my dad, that was the first year they had the lottery, one of the first years of the lottery for NCAA tickets. So we went up to Greensboro to the game and sat there and went, and then we had an exhibition game the next day. It was a 12-foot rim, if I remember correctly. A long time ago. Got a lot of stuff here. Lived a long time. Had a lot of good fun. Count it.
Williams!
Try to tell you. Count it.
Somehow you recouped some of that basketball knowledge from 1974 on.
I was little, too. But I remember, you always remember the big games, the moments, the touching moments. David Thompson, Tommy Burleson.
Kenley tries to answer. Williams has a rebound for Howard and dribbles out of control. Turnover forced by Card. Now Cameron.
Control your emotions.
Cameron was left alone. Stone pulled off. Thought he might pass, as he normally does. Then Martez Cameron out of Montverde Academy, the powerhouse in Orlando, puts in a 2.
You hit that big explosion play by Williams, and you want to be able to capitalize on it with a drive and score like that.
Miller explosive to the rack. And the energy picking up again here at Byrd Gymnasium.
And that's the word, Kevin, is energy right now.
3 for Gillespie. And Morgan State takes a timeout.
Gillespie had 4 against Coppin a couple of games ago. I told you it wouldn't take long for Todd to get up. I love Todd. He's working hard, trying to win a basketball game. This is what you've got to do when you got to win. You got to coach your team hard. In transition, nobody stops the dribbler, the floater, off the glass, count it. But you don't have a lot of time to celebrate because you got the ball again. Move the ball from side to side. Spot shooter in the corner. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Moving and grooving. 8-point game. The Battle of the Beltway. Howard and Morgan. But don't forget about the Battle of Baltimore. Coppin State and Morgan. That's a big ball game, too. Brian Ellaby there. Larry Stewart. It's a very good coaching staff.
You mentioned it earlier. Brian Ellaby was first African-American head coach in Michigan history, 97-2001.
Yes, indeed.
So you got former Michigan coach, of course, Todd Bozeman, former Cal coach, Larry Stewart, with a long-time pro career, including years here in D.C. with the then Washington Bullets.
See Nick over there, Kevin Courtier, Travis Lyons, Clarence Carter, all the assistant coaches, Sean Whalen. And then you got to give the assistants love, because if you think the players catch it sometimes, you don't know what the assistants. Just sit there. Yes. Because Valvano used to say, wants you to think like a head coach, act like an assistant coach. Keep your mouth shut unless I ask you something. If I ask you something, just nod your head. All right, here we go now. Settle down, get the ball in Williams' hands. Even if he doesn't score, he can be the facilitator of your offense. But if he scores, that's even better.
Long 2 for Williams. He's starting to feel it. Charles Williams with 15, a game high for Howard.
He gets really nice elevation in his jump shots.
Williams knocks it away, loose on the floor, and a jump ball. Howard has the possession.
Calm Todd. But you know what? Every player that's ever played for Todd Bozeman will say the same thing. We love his passion. We love him. We understand where he's coming from. So it's not personal. He's trying to make us better. And as long as players understand what the coach is about, hey, that's all you got to have. And Todd loves those kids, and the kids love Todd. And you can see the proof in the pudding. 6 times they've been in the MEAC championship. 2 times they've won it, plus an NIT bid. And they're looking good this year, too.
had not been above 500 since 88-89. He took over 11 years ago. He's had quite a few plus 500 seasons. JT Miller is fouled.
State foul charge to number 22,
It's Phil Carr,
his first personal team's
who has somehow stayed out of the fray. That's only his first in a game that has featured so far 32 combined fouls. And Kenley knocks it away off of Miller. It will go to Morgan State.
Second time we've seen Kenley get in the passing lane. Once with the steal, which equated to the foul a moment ago. This time gets the loose ball, possession knocked out. He gets it. I like the hustle. You're not scoring the basketball. That's okay. Do other things.
Arrest for Kenley as Thomas misses two. David Syfax is checked in. 32 in black and orange.
I like those black uniforms they're wearing too. Usually they wear orange or orange and blue. Black's kind of spiffy. Fashion critique also.
That's another crossover.
I do
Stan
a lot.
Luter.
That's it. I told you. I do a lot of things.
Cameron, good bounce feed. Carr, up and in. Score the goal, a chance for three.
Howard foul charge to number 5, Marcel Boyd, his third personal team.
I like this. Get your big guy active. Cameron, top 3 assist guy in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. A nice little bounce pass. Stayed low. Philip Carr catches the ball, gets the defender there, feels the contact, gets it up, uses the glass, and now has a chance for the three-point play. I love that execution off a fast break, a transition break situation.
Fourth leading scorer, leading rebounder in the MEAC. Only 2 of the 3. It was the third foul on Marcel Boyd, so every Howard player on the floor has either 2 or 3 fouls.
And you remember that foul that Boyd picked up 60 feet away from the basket in the first half? That's that cheapie that he liked to have. There's the lob.
Miller, down low, Boyd! And Gillespie had to foul him. Might have been the only way to keep the rim intact. Free throws for Marcel Boyd when we return. Morgan State with an 8-point lead down from Baltimore. $15 points for Antonio Gillespie. That is a game high and 2 shy of a season high for the sophomore at Memphis, Tennessee. 4 for 7 from 3, 3 for 3 at the line. He did just commit a foul, and Howard's Marcel Boyd will try to cut it to this 8-point lead. Kevin Brown, Stan Luter, our entire ESPNU crew on hand. Bird Gymnasium.
The Bird. Here we go.
Marcel Boyd, 2
nice.
for 2.
He's only
53% foul shooter.
Yeah, I'm about to say only 53% free throw shooter. So if he can knock down 2, now can Boyd stay on the floor? Remember, he's playing with 3 fouls.
Collins is as well. He shies off the ball. Isaiah Graves running the point for Morgan State. Cameron a breather. Gets it to Carr. Syfax. Graves with 6 to trigger. Gillespie to touch. Thomas misses it. Carr keeps it alive. Pulled down by Syfax and ripped away by Williams.
Good job by Williams to battle those big guys, and when they brought it down, he's able to grab it. Now can the Howard Bison capitalize?
Damon Collins with 3 assists to go along with 10 points. Williams a game high 15. Isolated on Graves. Screen from Boyd. Bobble from Miller, and Graves pokes it away. Here goes Graves. He goes around Miller and missed the rim. And who's going to get the ball? Morgan State.
Checking into the ball game for the Bears.
You remember Miller broke his hand early in the year, I think against Maryland.
Yep.
And he just never really controlled that basketball. Wonder why he didn't try to grab the ball with 2 hands instead of trying to pick it up with 1. Eventually there's a turnover. Very fortunate he didn't get the foul call. Great body movement to get away from it. But you know, that's just one of those things. Just wonder, okay, is the hand bothering you a little bit? That's walk.
Shuffle for Kenley, who just checked back in.
Checking into the ball game for the Bison.
Miller, who came out
33,
for 1 second,
and number 32,
returns.
Stone.
There's two ideas primarily on inbounds under situations. One is to try to get the ball in and score. The other is just to get the basketball in. We've seen both examples tonight. That was an example where they were trying to get the quick hitter and get the basket, but never gain control of the basketball.
Bears let Mangum take it across half court. Denied Collins the ball so far. This time it's Mangum to screen for Williams. Way off balance, slipping as he let it go, and here is Kenley. Loves to push tempo. Saves it over his head. And Mangum in the unsettled situation feeds Miller. Hands looked okay there, and Miller is fouled along the sideline.
Never had possession of the basketballs, battling up, kind of sloppy on both ends. I love the hustle though. Take the ball down, under control, loses it there, save it, get back into play. Now watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Got the hand on it. Out of all that, you get the touch foul. All that action, and the only thing you can come up with is a touch foul.
That's 6 on Morgan State, so Howard will shoot for the remainder of the half. Morgan State quickly put Howard in the bonus in the first half, just about as quickly in the second. Miller stumbling all over, and Howard is in the bonus now. JT Miller fouled by Gillespie, his third. Beg your pardon, his fourth foul.
As fast-paced as this game has been, we play with the officials sometimes. We kid because we care, but they've done a very good job of controlling the emotions. Nothing crazy is going out. This is a big game for both of these teams for a lot of reasons. Howard's trying to get off that 6-game losing streak. Morgan State's in the race to win the MEAC regular season. They've got to get this win. Plus, it's a big rival game. Guys have done a good job of controlling this ball game. Now let's see what happens this final 10 minutes.
In a hunt for seeding for that MEAC tournament starts 3 weeks or so from now, March 6th through 11th.
At the Scope.
At the Scope in Norfolk.
Yes, indeed, Reedy.
2 for Miller.
Commissioner Dennis Thomas and his staff have done an excellent job branding this tournament in Norfolk. It's become a happening event to come to Norfolk for the MEAC Championship.
Cameron, no. Can't wait, by the way, to go to that area in a couple of weeks. We get Norfolk State Hampton, who are 2 of the hottest teams in the MEAC right now.
Oh, man, the Battle of the Bay. You better be ready now.
Miller out of control. That is an offensive foul.
Howard foul charge, number 33, James
His
Miller.
third.
They worked on jump stop. Great defensive pressure here. Hold your ground. Miller a little bit out of control. Didn't have a good angle to split it. Defenders there. Yes, he is. Good job by Martez Cameron, who's had a really nice game. Scoring the basketball, passing the ball, and playing solid defense.
17 turnovers on Howard. Team that is last in the nation in assist to turnover ratio. All those point guard injuries.
Yeah. That assist to turnover ratio, you put it in normal, good drive.
Blocked by Stone on Card.
4 games this year is all they've had when they've had more assists than turnovers.
This game 26.
Yeah.
And a steal. Cameron took it away. Morgan State will settle down. Syphax. His job to pack the paint on Cameron, who is not a three-point shooter. Something they worked on at shoot-around quite a bit.
Good job now. Take your time. Clock down at 7. Look for a drive or a pocket pass right there. There's a basket.
Thomas stripped.
Got a handle.
Miller 3-on-1. If they play it right. Collins. Oh, rejected from behind. Freshman Syphax got it. Miller keeps it alive. Helter Skelter. Stone, no. And a travel on Tyler Stone. There's a brick stuck in the gas pedal right now.
Man, it's coming close to Valentine's Day. You don't want to be rejected. Rejection's a terrible thing. He got the shot blocked. Rejection's such a bad thing, Kevin.
think Syfax will be getting Miller some flowers there, Stan.
You got to get something. It's a terrible thing. Think you're going to get some candy, don't get it. Get your shot blocked on the eve before Valentine rejection. Such a bad thing to have happen to you.
Words of wisdom as Kenley sprawls for the ball and is fouled. Collins just committed his 4th foul. 4 on the senior point guard for Howard. As we step aside, let's catch our breath here, folks.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by eBay. Find new, unique, and everything in between on eBay. And in part by the new Volkswagen Golf All-Track, soon to be everywhere. And Samuel Adams, pursue better.
The Washington, where Howard University lies just a couple of miles away from the monuments, the National Mall. Here on the hilltop, where Morgan State leads by 4. MEAC standings, North Carolina Central won tonight. That's 10 in a row for the Eagles after losing the opener. Norfolk State has won 8 straight, and Hampton 5 in a row.
Rob Jones got him rolling up in Norfolk. We'll see that in 2 weeks. The Battle of the Bay. Little Buck against Rob Jones. Hampton, Norfolk Central. Mel Moten, after a bad season last year, has really come on. And you knew they were going to be special the first game of the season when they took Ohio State to the buzzer, knocked off Missouri, had LSU thinking about it too. This is a good team. Keep your eye on this Morgan State team and Savannah State. Horace Broadnax, right up here in D.C., Georgetown area. They're playing a different style of basketball now. They're shooting fast and taking names, and they could be a team that you got to look at when we come to MEAC tournament time.
Savannah State's playing the fastest tempo in the country. They chuck up a lot of threes.
Yep.
And they're a terrific offensive group and one to watch. 7-4 now in the conference. Taiwan Kenley only 2 points, 22.2 on the season per game, and a beautiful lay-in. His first field goal.
Nice job that time. He's trying to head right to the high ball screen. That was a good reverse move. Got the whole weak side open, was able to get the layup, get his first basket. Now it's about playing defense and valuing the basketball.
Well, the first points for Morgan in about 4.5 minutes. Miller, meanwhile, ends a miniature drought. Howard was 0 for its last 4.
Miller got away with a little push earlier, settled himself right there in the paint.
That's 15. Carr, fouled by Stone. No David Collins right now for Howard. Chuck Smith is in, Collins out with 4 fouls. And we'll see how long Kevin Nickelberry goes without him. Phil Carr, 4th best free throw shooter in the MEAC, 82.3%, and he's missed 2 in a row.
Every time you said that, Phil, Kevin, every time he said that.
What do you think, he has an earpiece in? He's listening to me?
Yeah. It's the vibe.
I think that's illegal.
It's the vibe. It's the vibe of the shot. Now, I'm going to talk about his technique right here. Finish high, fall through. He makes that. I'm sorry.
You should.
I'm just trying to tell you. Stan. I'm just trying to tell you that. Trust me on this.
Miller, fouled by Syfax.
Morgan State foul charge to number 32.
Now Miller will go to the line where he's a 62.8% free throw shooter.
Miller is?
Yes.
Okay.
So now what do you expect to happen here?
What do I expect? I'll tell you just a second. He's not at the line. He's not at the line yet. I can't tell. Watch his technique.
Like a half
watch
a foot
his
away
pin.
from it.
No, he had the basketball in his hand. All right? He makes this one. Now, he's got to make this next one a little better. He's got to bend his knees just a little bit and extend. He shot that little stiff-legged. So if he finishes high and fall through, it's nothing but the bottom of the net. So you see he didn't finish. See how hard, which should have happened on the first shot based on technique. You got to bend your knees. It's real simple. Bend and extend. Put your hand in the basket.
Now 5 for 8 from the foul line for Miller. Thrown away by Syfax, but Mangum was on the end line when he took it. Still 17 to shoot.
Oh, before I forget it, they're doing a full court press for ALS today, the Howard University basketball team, the coach, the staff, and all the players. And they're just trying to spread some awareness for ALS. And notice some of the guys, Miller's one of them, with the different color socks on. There's some battle, and now it's becoming more and more widespread. ALS, known as Lou Gehrig's league. And a lot of people here today in recognition and trying to find a way to have a cure for that. And I just, Kevin Nickelberry was adamant before he even talked about the team to talk about their battle with ALS. So I want to make sure I got that done before I forgot it. Miller reminded me when he had the socks on with the shots, so I had to get that in.
Wonderful thing that the folks here at Howard are doing. Miller is wearing the socks with Charles Williams, Damon Collins.
Miller Collins, exactly.
Fresh 30 for Morgan State, which has dominated its second chance points. Gillespie left it long, and a foul underneath.
You get the feeling, the 4-point lead, happy time. That's happy time. You get a 4-point lead that Morgan has really got a big lead. A little free with the basketball. You got to protect the ball better and take wiser shots. We're under 7 minutes, 8 minutes in this game. We got to make these free throws.
Kenley leaves it long. Offensive rebound again for Carr, for the best offensive rebounding team in the MEAC.
They have been solid.
Up near their season average of nearly 14. By the way, the foul was Mangum's third. Kenley out of control, lost the ball before he traveled, and Williams alertly calls a timeout. However, Howard will have to play the remaining 5:41 without him now. Four-point lead for Morgan State. Their double-double machine. Philip Carr is closing in on another one.
Yeah, nice position inside there. That long-range fadeaway he's got the moves. One dribble jump shot here. Gets low again. You get great inside position with a guy that athletic at 6'8". He's going to score the basketball a lot, and he's done that. And he's got the ability to step out and make the three-pointer. 16 times he's hit double figures. Really playing well before the injury. 29 against Norfolk, 25 against Bethune. But he can step up and hit the jump shot. And as we just said a moment ago, 9 times already this year. Philip Carr, preseason MEAC first teamer with 9 games with double-doubles. And he's fast approaching one tonight.
Be a surprise if he wasn't a postseason first teamer at this point. 4th in scoring, 1st in rebounds per game, 1st in minutes per game, over 36 per game on the season.
Take your time, Howard. Take your time.
Miller already has 6 turnovers. Left the ball low, but he's bailed out by a Cameron foul.
I like the fact Miller was able to draw the foul, but I don't like the fact that he had the ball, brought it down, brought it into some traffic. Very, very fortunate they're going to call the foul on the hand.
3 fouls on Cameron.
Okay, let's see if he makes the adjustment this time with his knees. If he bends his knees and finishes high, he makes it. He's going to make this one. There's better extension, better knee bend. You shoot from your lower body, from your legs, not so much from your upper body. So if you'll bend, that gives you some rhythm. It gives you balance. Has he got balance right now? Ball's in his hand, eyes on the front of the rim, finish this in.
Hey, you called that one late. That was basically
well, I
in
didn't
the rim
see
at that
it.
point.
I was looking at him from the ground up so I could get the better rotation. I was right, though. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the play.
No hatred. Hate-free zone. It's almost Valentine's Day.
I know, and you can get rejected, too. You've seen that as well. All right, catch inside, outside. There's your pass.
Kenley from Carr. And fouled on the way up. Williams has 3. Mangum has 3. Boyd has 3.
Watch this. Face up inside. Watch him face it right there. Now he can see over the defender, and you've got a cutting Kenley. That's a very nice way to execute your half-court offense versus the zone. I like that.
And it was on Marcel Boyd for his 4th. So 2 Howard players with 4. Collins, who is ready to check back in, and Boyd. Tough shooting night for Kenley. He misses another one.
The second best free throw shooting team in the MEAC. A shade under 70% at the line. And if you want to win this game, You have to make your free throws.
Bears to 64% from the line tonight. Kenley does hit the second, 2 of 5 from there. Tyler Stone just checked in. He is also playing with 4 fouls. He's in for Boyd. Collins runs the show.
Remember, Howard's playing these final 5 minutes with no timeouts remaining. You've got to understand ball and score, time and score now.
Williams works his way around. Leaves along too short. Stone fights for the rebound and wins it. And the putback there for Mangum.
Nice
Second
play.
chance points, the first 2 in the game for Howard.
Great effort by Mangum, known as a premier jump shooter. That time battles inside, gets the finish. And here we go.
Huge heads and second chance points, a turnover edge, and yet Morgan State's lead is only 1.
See, that time Carr didn't face up. He did a half face. He could have taken a mid-range shot possibly.
Off balance shot for Gillespie, negated. Travel before the trigger.
Watch Solomon Mangum, off balance jump shot by Williams, but not be denied. Loose ball there, goes inside, under control, keeps it up and strong. Might have been some contact, but you played through it, gets the basket. Their first basket tonight on second chance opportunities.
So Howard could take the lead with any sort of field goal. Collins, Miller got the advantage on Cameron.
Great job of getting inside position by Miller, and a good catch. Didn't push off with the offhand.
Morgan State has led throughout the second half. Howard in front yet again for the first time, and Kenley is stripped. Charles Williams, a freshman. Then Howard, no timeouts. They got out of the double. Collins, some contact, no. Put back Mangum. What a time for Howard's first and second chance buckets of the game.
Fighting inside, trying to make a play. The lob inside. A great catch by Miller and the finish. Now you're scrambling. Go inside. Contact. Get it up. Follow. Count it. Bison are happy at the bird.
Our college and NBA announcers switch places this Wednesday for the PlayStation Vue crossover. 7 Eastern on ESPN. Dick Vitale and Bill Walton to the NBA for Pacers Cavs. Kara Lawson, PJ Carlesimo head to Iowa State, K-State. Then at 9, it's Jay Billis and Doug Collins off to Duke, Virginia. Dan Dockets joins Jeff Van Gundy with sideline reporter Adam Schefter for Knicks Thunder. Those games are all on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. A wonderful night of college and pro hoops.
Dan Dockets would be great. He's going to be great. I love Dockets. All right, here we go. James Miller steps out, makes the jump shot in the first half. You got to guard him. I mean, he can't score the basketball. Now off the baseline, showing his versatility. Watch that drive there. You got it up too late. And nice floater and score. This is the play I like. With the offhand, he doesn't push off. He just goes after the basketball, catches and finishes. And when you'll play with some emotion, you'll make your free throws. Maybe make those free throws, maybe go. Make those free throws, you get a rhythm, you get excited, and everybody at the Burr is excited because the Bison are up by 3 with 3:26. Good play, James Miller.
Now Mangum to try and finish a three-point play. Howard, no second chance points in the first 35 minutes, 50 seconds. 2 second chance baskets in the last 44. And the lead is 4.
Morgan State almost 4 minutes and 15 seconds without a basket, without a field goal. Got to settle down right now. Don't force anything. Just run your offense.
Thomas was wide open, got his own miss. Thomas takes it strong inside. Carr reaches back and tips it in.
That's what you want out of an all-conference performer.
15 and 9 for Philip Carr, and Morgan State now with 20 second chance points.
Kenley is guarding Williams, and just switch. He's on Miller, but he's got a little, hitch in his giddy up, I think.
Collins stepping through with the left, and Damon Collins will shoot 2. playing with 4 fouls.
What you're getting an opportunity to see is Damon Collins at 6'7", taking advantage of the smaller guards of Oregon State, keeping his dribble alive and attacking the glass. Can he make the free throws?
Foul is Martez Cameron's 4th. So Cameron and Gillespie are playing with 4 fouls for Morgan State. Collins and Tyler Stone on the floor with 4 for Howard. Boyd on the bench with 4. Howard 17 of 25 at the line before that shot. They've left 8 points out there. Morgan is 17 of 26. Foul trouble for the Bison. They're going to hang on to the final 2.5 and change. Carr being guarded by Miller, wants the ball. It's Kenley with a hop step, hit by Stone, and that's his 5th. Well, Tyler Stone is the first player, perhaps not the last, to foul out of the game.
Kevin Nickelberry talks a lot this year with all the injuries and the sickness and whatnot about fixing the moments. We're in basketball games and there's something will happen and we're not able to fix that moment. Forget about the failures and make positive plays. This is going to be one of those examples now. Up 3, 225. One of your bigs is already fouled out. They've only got 7 scholarship athletes. Can they fix the moment and find a way to win the ball game?
4 points, 9 rebounds, and a block for Stone tonight. Boyd returns. Kenley's had a tough shooting night. 1 of 8 at the field, 0 of 5 from 3, 2 of 6 from the line. Now 3 of 7. He's an 80% shooter there.
Flick of the wrist there. Wonder what Todd thinking about.
Cheeseburgers, Bermuda.
Nah, he ain't thinking about the food right there. Pressing. Do we stick back? Who's going to guard Williams? Who's going to guard Miller?
Big 2 for Kenley. Now some foul trouble for Morgan State defensively. Starting 5 out there for Howard. Miller with 20, Williams 15. Here's Miller.
Good defense there. They switch at the end. Clock winding down.
Cameron switched on him with 4 fouls. Miller 3 to shoot, dribbles through. Oh, Miller!
Oh! There goes that man. It's Miller time.
22 for Miller after the explosive finish. The lead is 3 with 100 seconds. Thomas rockets to Kenley inside in back-to-back possessions where Kenley scored 2.
Miller just lulled him to sleep, made a pass or thought it was, then had a crossover, and then elevated the end. He's going to try it again.
Left it short, big tip Boyd. Marcel gets in.
Big fella's been big all night long. Playing physical, going after the glass.
Three-point lead for Howard, a minute 21 to go. And the Bison with some second chance points again.
Watch the cross right there. A little screen, and then it's Miller time with the slam. Tries to do it again. Goes to the glass, gets the tip. Marcel Boyd showing his versatility. A screen, sets up a dunk, a miss, a tip in and score. A 121 away from the Bird to start jumping. Up on the hilltop. You think we can get our picture in the undefeated if we win this ball game? Some of the post-game action. You think so? What do you think?
You and me?
Yes, and you and I. The 2 of us.
I don't think anybody wants my picture.
We, us, the 2.
You and Marty can get a picture.
Who?
You and Marty.
I would love that. I'd love to be with Marty Aronoff. I want a picture of Marty Aronoff. The legend. The legend. Anytime they run a feature on you on ESPN, they do something on 360. You have made it to the top. I'm doing games and I'm happy to do it, but I've never had a feature run on ESPN by me. Marty Aronoff, over 1 million miles a year. Every big game. national championships, NCAA games, NBA finals, Monday Night Football. Mr. Marty to our left, giving us I love you. You're the best. You are the absolute best.
Just want to make it clear that he's talking to Marty right now and not me.
No, I am. I'm talking to Marty. You're good. He's the best.
I know.
All right, now.
Appreciate the compliment. Minute 20 to go. Let's play some hoops here.
Here we go. Here we go.
3-point lead for Howard. Morgan State with the ball. Cameron and Gillespie the guards. Kenley inside. Oh boy, that's the 5th foul against Marcel Boyd, who thought he went straight up. And Howard's 2 big men have fouled out of the game.
And what you can't do in these fix-the moments is get so emotional you forget about the basketball game. They go to sleep with the switch. You've got a guy that's averaging about 22 points a ball game with the ball in the middle of the floor. Your big guy's got to come out to eliminate the easy layup. He picks up his 5th foul. A great game by Marcel Boyd. All the little things to help you win a game. Screens, tips.
Kenley has hit now 4 in a row from the line. And you're starting to see why Tywan Kenley is a 22-point per game scorer, heating up late for Morgan. Kenley cuts it to 1. Kofi Ando checked in, by the way, for Boyd.
And as they've done most of the night after made baskets and free throws, some type of pressure, a little man pressure, make Howard run some time off the clock.
Collins with Ando, Miller, Williams, and Mangum.
Have to secure the rebound, anything long. Morgan State's 1-0 in overtime. Howard's yet to play one.
That was a double overtime win against Manhattan in the non-conference. Collins on the step in, flies in for his own rebound, taken away by Cameron. Martez Cameron of the Bears down 1. Gillespie, Kenley, Carr, and Thomas.
2 timeouts remaining for the Bears of Morgan State. Do you use one or do you run the offense? If you get the ball in Kenley's hands.
Telegraph pass stolen by Miller. Miller goes up and is fouled by Cameron, his 5th.
Just didn't like the rhythm of that offensive set. That's what I'm saying. If you get the ball in Kenley's hands or Carr, I'm okay. Anything else, I want to try to maybe get him reset.
Well, it's a good foul by Cameron, even if it does disqualify him. He had no choice. Send Miller to the line, where he has been good today, 7 for 10.
Setting the ball game for the Bears, number 1.
Isaiah Graves replaced Cameron.
Now, Graves is not a great 3-point shooter. He's only made 6. I say that in the event the offense winds down and he's got the ball in his hands, what will you do? What can you do? Man, with 1 timeout remaining for Morgan State, Todd's going over every scenario. Make or miss. Let them know they've got a timeout. Possession there is going the other way.
Here's what's on deck for Morgan State in the regular season. The MEAC Championship on March 11th. MEAC tourney starts March the 6th. Bears had that high-flying offense of Savannah State. Big one with Hampton in the middle there, and then that Baltimore crosstown rivalry with Coppin.
Yeah. And the Delaware State, the funny thing about Delaware State's knocked off both Morgan State and North Carolina Central. So you got to keep your eye on Keith Walker's Hornets team. They're not bad either. They're just handy. There you go. This is why this is important.
So Howard trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They're 5-20. In none of those 5 wins did they overcome a deficit as large as 9, and they trailed by that many tonight. Miller short on the first.
Quick on the release.
A lot of points left at the free throw line tonight.
I wish he would stepped off the line just to kind of regather himself, get himself together. It's okay if he doesn't, but he's got to bend and extend. That looks good.
And it is. 63% foul shooter, hits 1 of 2. Here come the Bears with Kenley. Kenley smothered by Miller. Oh, what a rejection. And Miller is fouled.
James Miller playing like a man possessed. The dunk on one end a moment ago, knocks down the free throw, and the big time block. Could this be the one that seals the ball game? I don't know.
A lot of time left still.
Yeah.
Timeout for Morgan State. Miller again, 62.8% at the line. 8 of 12 there tonight.
The way he's shooting the ball, it's going to probably come off long maybe if he misses a hard rebound. You've got to be ready for a back tap if you're Howard. You've got to box out if you're Morgan.
And he missed it long. Ball is loose here. Collins tried to save it, stepped out. So Morgan State down 3 with 16 seconds. And Todd Bozeman is going to use his final timeout. Well, hang on now. The officials are heading over to the scorer's table. Maybe to check possession in case Collins didn't save that before it went out of bounds. Maybe who it was last off initially.
Well, right, let's see.
That's inbounds there.
Yeah. And I think they get the timeout. Was a timeout given to them? The timeout was not given to Morgan State, so they still have one. And that's a break for Morgan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get the ball in bounds. I'm always scared in these situations. You got to get the ball in bounds, and you've still got enough time. You don't have to jack up a three-point shot.
At what time do you have to?
They get under 8, and they're still down 3 maybe. You've got time.
It's Taiwan Kenley, guarded by Miller. Kenley will take it to the hoop. Miss.
Yeah.
Dunk is there on the putback from Kyle Thomas. And now Todd Bozeman uses the timeout at 8.5.
Take a guy that can score off the bounce, maybe take a jump shot, goes the length of the floor, gets it up. Everybody's going to try to block him out. So your weak side rebounder. They've had a lot of success tonight going to the glass and finishing plays. Gets a nice follow there. 8.5 seconds. So I think you have to give about maybe, depends on your philosophy. Some coaches will say foul immediately. Some coaches say try to make a denial about a second or two and then foul. You can't wait any longer than 4 seconds. Simply for the fact that they make both free throws, you have to shoot the 3. You miss them, boom, you got a chance to win it on the jumper. And what Kevin Nickelberry is trying to make sure his guys understand is you got no timeouts. You got to get this ball in bounds, and you got to be strong with the ball. Come test your pass. Be strong with it.
Collins will inbound.
That's trouble. That's trouble. That's trouble.
Got it to Williams. 5-second count. Oh, my goodness. Morgan State will get the ball down 1.
You have to be a made basket so you can run the baseline. And you've got to find yourself down and then come back up to get to the basketball.
21st turnover and the most critical one. Graves on the lob to Carr. Carr with 5. It's Kenley. Short from 3. Out of bounds with 2.2. And it will stay with Morgan, touched by Howard on the way.
Still got to do the same thing.
Beg your pardon, it is Howard ball. Collins will take it.
This time they're not going to pressure the inbounds play, so they'll double team Miller maybe. There's a foul. Clock continued to run.
That will have to be changed.
Yes.
The whistle was blown right as the ball was thrown in.
Exactly. Exactly. Good crew. They're on top of that.
And Morgan was a little out of sorts there.
Well,
and scrambled to get into position with the foul on Miller at 2.2, although we'll see how much time comes off this clock.
You don't like the second guess, but if I'm Miller, you might want to try to go ahead and power that up. See, there's a foul. Actually, I don't even know if any time went off the clock, to be very honest with you. but I think it'll be 2-2. But you had a situation there with Carr in the post. Not going to maybe get a better shot than that. Kinley had to take a jump shot deep.
So the foul was actually not on Graves guarding Miller. The foul was on Gillespie guarding Kofi Ando. And Ando is going to shoot the free throws. So Gillespie's fouled out of the game. So that was well away from the ball.
And it comes to the very end.
Ando is a 75% free throw shooter. He has not attempted a field goal or free throw tonight.
So the foul was away from the ball.
Cooley hits the first. This was a shot Morgan got from Kenley.
Yeah, good job denying the inside there by Miller, and you got to step out for Kinley. Have more time to shoot than you really thought you had.
You give any thought to missing this intentionally, or is 2.2
Man,
too
I'll
much?
tell you what, I don't like to play games with the game, you know? Make the free throw. They got to make a three to win. They don't have to make a three if he misses. You can get this long rebound and throw it up. Make it.
He does just that.
Yeah.
2.2.
But you got to throw this deep.
Carr, it's tipped. It is Thomas, well short. And Howard snaps its losing streak in dramatic fashion here on the Hilltop. What a win for this Bison team, undermanned and beat up due to injuries, but they come through and knock off Todd Bozeman's Bears. Thanks to Mike Dressman, our producer, and our entire ESPN group, my broadcast partner Stan Luter. I'm Kevin Brown saying so long, DC. 70-67, Howard in a MEAC thriller.